Exposure shapes vision. You can't dream bigger if you have never seen bigger. And I learned this very truth the very first time I came to South Africa. I remember driving into Johannesburg at the highway, and the person sitting next to me pointed out and said, "That is the tallest building," and he meant the Carlton Center. I said, I want to work there one day. But when I arrived where I was meant to stay, I found my fellow sisters from back home who were working as housemaids, washing dishes, cleaning for families, doing whatever jobs they could find. When I now shared my dream of working at Carlton Center, they looked at me and said, "My dear, people like us don't work there. Just accept reality and find housework like we did." In that moment, I realized something powerful, that maybe that is their vision, but it was not mine. The very next day, I took a taxi straight to Carlton Center. I walked around and discovered there was a salon. It was at that moment that hit me that I can actually do hair. I then started working at that salon as a hairstylist. Here is the lesson to it. If I had listened to their voices, I would have settled for less. But when you choose to believe in your own dreams, you believe in your own visions, doors open in ways you never imagined. Sometimes your opportunity won't show up until you step into the place where your dream lives. Now, this is a very, very tiny, little example, and people might undermine it because, oh wow, it's just Carlton Center. But this is not about Carlton Center. It's about the lesson that we learn from dreaming or believing in your own vision. If you have never stepped out of your home, your township, or the village you grew up in, the question is, how will you ever see the possibilities? If you have never traveled to another country, how will you ever understand that life can be lived in a completely different level? I remember for the first time I traveled to Dubai, I had actually won a ticket from one of the network marketing companies. When I got there, the luxury, the hotels, the sheets, the atmosphere, even the smell in the air, it was all different. When I came back home and walked into my house, I was angry. I was angry at the situation. I was angry at poverty. And that is when I started to think big, because I was exposed to something bigger than I was used to. That's what exposure does. It makes you desire more. You can't long for what you have never seen. You can't pursue what you have never experienced. Once you step out of your comfort zone, your vision expands and your life will never be the same again. And that's why the Bible says God will give you the desires of your heart. But listen, you cannot desire what your eyes have never seen. You cannot experience what you have refused to expose yourself to. So here's my message. Get out there, see more, experience more. Put yourself in environments that stretch you, that challenge you, that force your vision to grow. Because once your eyes have seen bigger, your heart will start desiring bigger. And once your heart desires it, your faith and your actions will put you towards it. Now, follow Manifest Millionaire and let's grow your vision together. Because the bigger you see, the bigger you can become.